Hello, our Lives channel. Today we will learn about an absolutely shocking and heart-stopping incident that will unfold at Salem University next week, where a devastating fire erupts in the dormitory and transforms an ordinary evening into a life-threatening crisis that will test the very foundations of love, courage, and redemption. The night that changes everything. The tranquil atmosphere of Salem University's dormitory complex will be shattered when an unexpected disaster strikes Holly Jonas's room in the most terrifying way imaginable. What begins as a peaceful evening in the college residence halls quickly escalates into a nightmare scenario that will have viewers on the edge of their seats, watching as fate intervenes in the most dramatic fashion possible. Holly Jonas, played by the talented Ashley Puzimis, finds herself in an extremely vulnerable position after a night of heavy drinking that has left her completely unconscious and oblivious to the mounting danger surrounding her. The combination of alcohol and exhaustion creates a perfect storm of circumstances that will place her directly in harm's way, setting the stage for one of the most intense rescue sequences in recent days of our lives' history. The spark that ignites disaster. In a moment that will forever change the course of multiple lives, Holly inadvertently becomes the catalyst for catastrophe when she accidentally knocks over a burning candle while tossing and turning in her alcohol-induced slumber. The innocent decorative candle, which had been providing a gentle ambient glow to her dorm room, suddenly becomes a weapon of destruction as it tumbles from its secure position. The candle's trajectory proves to be devastatingly precise as it lands directly into a nearby trash can that happens to be overflowing with papers, assignments, and other flammable materials that have accumulated over the busy college semester. The dried paper acts as perfect kindling, and within moments, small flames begin to dance and grow with alarming speed, consuming everything in their path with an insatiable hunger for destruction. The fire spreads with frightening efficiency, feeding on the abundance of combustible materials scattered throughout the typical college dorm room. Textbooks, notebooks, clothing, and furniture all becoming potential fuel for the growing inferno. What started as a tiny flame quickly develops into a serious blaze that begins to fill the room with thick, choking smoke that poses an immediate threat to anyone trapped inside. Brady's critical discovery. Brady Black, portrayed by Eric Martsolf, becomes an unwitting hero in this unfolding drama when he decides to make an impromptu visit to the Salem University dormitory. His timing proves to be absolutely crucial as he walks through the hallways and immediately detects the unmistakable and acrid smell of smoke that shouldn't exist in a residential building designed for student safety. The veteran Salem resident's experience and quick thinking kick into high gear as he realizes the severity of the situation developing before his eyes. His nose leads him closer to the source of the smoke, and the growing intensity of the smell confirms his worst fears. There is definitely a fire somewhere in the building, and time is running out to prevent a full-scale disaster. Meanwhile, the dormitory's fire alarm system finally activates, sending piercing sirens throughout the building that should alert every resident to evacuate immediately. However, the alarm's shrill warning falls on deaf ears in Holly's room, where the young woman remains completely unconscious, trapped in a deep sleep induced by her earlier alcohol consumption that renders her unable to respond to the emergency signals designed to save her life. Tate's moment of truth. The real hero of this harrowing tale emerges in the form of Tate Black, played by Leo Howard, whose world is turned upside down when he realizes that the woman he loves is in mortal danger. Despite the complicated history and recent tensions between them, Tate's protective instincts override everything else as pure panic floods through his system upon learning about the fire. His search for Holly becomes increasingly frantic as he races through the dormitory corridors, checking every possible location where she might be safe. The young man's desperation reaches new heights when he encounters Horton, portrayed by Marissa Reyes, who delivers the devastating news that sends his heart into complete overdrive. Holly is still inside her room, directly in the path of the raging fire. This revelation transforms Tate from a worried boyfriend into a determined rescuer who refuses to let anything happen to the woman who means everything to him. The intensity of his love for Holly overrides any concern for his own safety as he prepares to rush headlong into danger, driven by an unshakable determination to save her life regardless of the personal cost. The heroic rescue. What happens next will define Tate Black as a true hero in every sense of the word, as he makes the split-second decision to charge into the smoke-filled room where Holly lies unconscious and completely unaware of the deadly threat surrounding her. The young man's courage shines brightest in this moment of ultimate crisis, as he pushes through his own fear and the physical dangers of the fire to reach the woman he loves. The rescue sequence promises to be one of the most emotionally charged and visually stunning moments in recent days of our lives' history, as Tate battles against time, smoke, and flames to reach Holly's bedside. His determination to save her life will showcase the depth of his character and the genuine nature of his feelings, proving that true love conquers all obstacles, even life-threatening disasters. The physical challenges of navigating through a smoke-filled room while carrying an unconscious person will test every ounce of Tate's strength and resolve. However, his love for Holly provides him with superhuman motivation that enables him to overcome seemingly impossible odds in his quest to bring her to safety before the fire claims another victim. The bitter irony of love. The most heartbreaking aspect of this entire ordeal is the cruel irony that Tate risks everything to save a woman who currently wants nothing to do with him. Holly's anger toward Tate remains at an all-time high due to his complicated relationship with Sophia Choi, and she has made it clear that she wants him out of her life completely, making his heroic actions even more poignant and selfless. This rescue will force both characters to confront their true feelings in the most dramatic way possible, as life and death situations have a way of stripping away all pretenses and revealing what really matters. The question remains whether Holly will finally recognize the depth of Tate's love for her, or if she will continue to push him away despite his willingness to sacrifice everything for her safety. Sophia's destructive influence. The fire incident occurs against the backdrop of Sophia Choi's increasingly desperate and destructive schemes that continue to wreak havoc on multiple lives throughout Salem. Her obsession with keeping Holly and Tate apart has already caused tremendous damage, and her latest plot involving compromising photos and false allegations threatens to destroy even more relationships and futures. Sophia's manipulation tactics have created a web of lies and deceit that extends far beyond just Holly and Tate's relationship, as her false accusations against Johnny DiMera regarding an inappropriate relationship with a student threatened to derail his marriage to Chanel and their hopes of adopting baby Tesoro. The young woman's vindictive behavior continues to escalate, and her refusal to accept that Tate's heart belongs to Holly is driving her to increasingly dangerous extremes. The timing of the fire could not be worse for Holly, who already finds herself caught in the crossfire of Sophia's schemes and may now face additional complications as a result of this traumatic experience. The physical and emotional toll of surviving a life-threatening fire, combined with the ongoing drama surrounding her relationship status, creates a perfect storm of challenges that will test her resilience in unprecedented ways. This dramatic fire rescue will undoubtedly serve as a turning point in the Holly and Tate storyline, potentially breaking down the walls that have kept them apart and forcing them to acknowledge the unbreakable bond that continues to draw them together despite all obstacles. Whether this near-death experience will be enough to overcome Sophia's manipulations and Holly's current anger remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Tate's heroic actions will prove once and for all that his love for Holly knows no bounds. Part 2. Days of Our Lives shakes up Salem. A long-lost family member returns, child stars reunite, and beloved characters step back into the spotlight. When it comes to Salem, secrets rarely stay buried for long. Family ties have a way of resurfacing just when you least expect them, and every return brings new drama. As we step into the week of September 29, 2025, Days of Our Lives promises to deliver exactly that: nostalgia, surprises, and the kind of heart-tugging moments that only this long-running soap can pull off. The week is packed with familiar faces, a long-awaited homecoming, and storylines that will ripple through Salem's most iconic families. Whether you've been a fan since the days of Tom and Alice Horton or you just started watching during the Peacock era, there's something in store that will make you want to tune in and not look away. The return of two beloved child stars. Soap operas thrive on legacy characters, and Days is leaning heavily into that tradition this week. On Monday, September 29th, two of the show's most popular young stars are stepping back into the spotlight. Alice Halsey and Carrie Christopher, both already fan favorites despite their young ages, will share a key scene together. Halsey, whom the show officially introduced to viewers via its Instagram account earlier this year, has been winning over fans with her portrayal of the fiery and strong-willed Rachel Black, daughter of Brady Black and Kristen DiMera. Her scenes often carry a punch, blending the innocence of childhood with the complicated baggage of being born into one of Salem's most scandalous families. Carrie Christopher, meanwhile, has long been cherished for his portrayal of Thomas DiMera, the son of Abigail Devereaux and Chad DiMera. Christopher's natural talent shines through every time Thomas appears, giving him an authenticity that draws fans in. The two characters will interact in a way that promises to shake things up. Rachel delivers a bombshell revelation to Thomas, a piece of shocking news that could tie into both families' messy histories. For longtime fans, the very idea of these two children bonding, or sparring, hints at how Salem's next generation is already being groomed for the drama to come. Could their conversation open doors to buried secrets? Or will it set the stage for the next chapter of Horton and DiMera family rivalries? Theo Carver's homecoming, and another return on the horizon. As if the children weren't enough to stir excitement, another familiar face is back in Salem, Theo Carver, now played by Tyler Joseph Andrews. Theo's return reunites him with his family, giving the Carver clan a much-needed shot of warmth and togetherness. But his reappearance is just the start. Shortly after Theo's homecoming, Salem braces for the arrival of another long-lost family member. This time, the focus shifts to the town's most iconic dynasty, the Hortons. Word is spreading that someone from this storied family tree is making their way back to Salem, and that the person will be welcomed with open arms by none other than Julie Williams, played by the legendary Susan Seaforth Hayes. Julie's deep ties to the Horton family and her role as the keeper of its traditions mean this return won't just be about one person. It will be about legacy, healing, and perhaps even reopening old wounds. The big reveal is set for Friday, October 3rd, and speculation is already running wild. Could it be Jeremy Horton, the adventurous son of Mike Horton and Robin Jacobs, who has been mentioned in passing recently? His absence has left a gap in the Horton storyline, and his return could bring an entire wave of possibilities. Romantic, professional, and deeply personal. But if it is Jeremy, the next question looms even larger. Who will play him? The casting choice could shape not only the character's arc, but also how fans receive this much-anticipated return. Days knows how to keep viewers guessing, and until the reveal drops, theories will keep buzzing through the fanbase. Susan Banks brings her eccentric spark back to Salem. Not all returns are about family legacies. Sometimes, it's about the sheer joy of seeing a fan-favorite character light up the screen again. Stacey Hayduk is back this week as the incomparable Susan Banks, one of Days' quirkiest, most beloved, and most unpredictable figures. Susan is the kind of character who can walk into a room and instantly shift the energy. Her unique perspective, her outlandish quirks, and her fierce loyalty make her unlike anyone else in Salem. This week, she reconnects with her old friend Marlena Evans, played by Deidre Hall, offering both comic relief and heartfelt support. On Monday, September 29th, Marlena will open up to Susan about her struggles, giving viewers a chance to see the softer, more grounded side of Susan beneath her eccentric exterior. Their friendship, which has weathered countless storms, serves as a reminder that even in a town as chaotic as Salem, bonds of trust and affection can endure. Expect emotional honesty mixed with classic Susan humor, because if anyone can lighten Marlena's burdens while still offering sage advice in her own offbeat way, it's Susan Banks. New faces stirring up drama. Erica Kreutz as Jillian. While returns dominate the week, Salem is also making room for fresh energy. On Wednesday, October 1st, actress Erica Kreutz will appear as Jillian, a social worker with an important task. Jillian will be sitting down with Chanel Dupree, Raven Bowens, and Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, who are in the process of trying to adopt baby Tesoro. Adoption storylines on Days often dig deep into questions of family, stability, and love. Chanel and Johnny have faced countless obstacles in their relationship, and now their future as potential parents lies, at least partly, in Jillian's hands. How will she assess their readiness to provide a home for Tesoro? And will outside influences, like their family histories, their tumultuous pasts, or Salem's inevitable chaos, complicate the process? Kreutz's guest spot is brief, but her role as Jillian could become pivotal. After all, in Salem, even the most procedural interactions have a way of snowballing into life-changing events. Why this week matters. Taken together, these developments reflect everything that makes Days of Our Lives such a beloved soap. A blend of nostalgia, with the returns of familiar characters, fresh drama, with shocking revelations, and heartfelt storytelling, as families try to hold on to one another through the storms. The return of Alice Halsey and Carrie Christopher anchors the show's focus on the next generation, while Theo Carver's homecoming reconnects fans with one of Salem's most important families. The tease of a Horton return has already set the fanbase buzzing, and Susan Banks' eccentric presence ensures laughter and unpredictability. Add to that the real-world weight of an adoption storyline, and you have a week that balances history with forward momentum. So, mark your calendars. The week of September 29th, 2025, is shaping up to be one of the most memorable in recent Salem history. From shocking revelations to heartfelt reunions, Days is once again proving why it remains one of the longest-running and most beloved soap operas in television history.